Before we get into this podcast, I'd like to tell you about our good friends over at My Vintage Jersey. They offer a wide variety of quality retro jerseys for a great price. Visit myvintagejersey.com and any order that is above €50 gets you free shipping and use code 6SideCalcio for 5% off, which is spelled with the number 6, lowercase ix, capital S, lowercase IDE, capital C, lowercase ALCIO, and it's all together. Now let's get into the podcast. Hey guys, welcome back to the Six Out Culture podcast. I'll be joined by Francesco and Danny. What's going on, boys?
Hey guys.
What's up, guys?
Yeah, so we had a long week. Obviously, we had the matches from last week, MatchDay 2, Saturday, Sunday. We also had the Wednesday matches, which was yesterday. We're recording this on Thursday. And we also have the group stage for the Champions League draw that came out, which we'll talk about near the end of the podcast. We'll start off, though, with MatchDay 2. Torino played Atalanta. So, Dan, you want to get started?
Yeah, so it was a really entertaining match. There was 4 goals in the first half. Andrea Belotti opened up the scoring in the 11th minute, and then Atalanta, they showed their attacking ability, got 3 quick goals between half an hour, and then Andrea Belotti pulled one back in the 43rd minute, but then Martin de Roon sealed it for Atalanta in the 54th minute. It was such an entertaining game. The first half was more entertaining than the second half. I feel like Atalanta in the second half, they got the goal pretty early on in the second half, and then they were just defending and hopefully sealing out the game because they knew they had a match on the Thursday, so they were just playing like park the bus. But it was a really entertaining match. I really think Torino have to sell Belotti. I just really feel bad for him. He's doing all that he can for his team, and it seems like they might not be as strong as they were a couple seasons ago. Atalanta, don't get me wrong, they got attacking talent. They're so good in attack. The midfield played really well, and Papu Gomez is just, it doesn't matter how old he is, he's still providing quality play from such a player who really became better as his age as he gets older, and also the captain of Atalanta. So, Atalanta, shout out to you guys. You guys got a big win. I think it was their first match, and scoring 4 goals on your opening match is pretty impressive.
Yeah, well, like Danny said, this was a very entertaining game. Atalanta, they never fail to disappoint. They always put on a show. They always score loads of goals, and this was no exception. I think everyone Atalanta fan, I don't think they got scared when Belotti scored at the beginning because they were like, okay, it's Atalanta. They're just going to score like 2 more, 3 more, 5 more, how many more? And I just want to say, Papu Gomez, that guy, he's incredible. He's the most underrated player in the world, not even in the league. What he does on the ball and off the ball is just simply incredible. And I think every Atalanta fan and even Serie A fan is glad that he didn't go to Qatar and he stayed in Italy at Atalanta. But it was a very good game. Like Danny said, Belotti, he needs to leave. I think Roma is the perfect destination for him. But unfortunately, I don't think that's going to happen for some time. But it was a good game, very entertaining. And Torino looked like a strong team. Obviously, got unlucky if you faced Atalanta. It's most likely a loss when you face a team like Atalanta, really becoming the Scudetto favorites here. But both teams played well. The defensive abilities on both teams were a bit poor in my opinion, but it's only the first week of the season for these two, and I think they'll get better as games go on.
Yeah, watching this game really made me say, why did I put them in? I think I put them in 5th place. They're gonna finish ahead of Roma. I don't know what I did, but yeah, Atalanta is an amazing team. Their attack is, like you guys both said, fantastic. And it's so creative the way they play offensively. There's so many options that can score. Usually you see a team of, like, for example, Roma, because I know them best, obviously. We have Giaco, like, he's going to score. Like, he's our main target man. But with Atalanta, their fullbacks score, their midfielders score, the striker, their wingers. I won't be surprised if Golini gets a few goals this year at this point, honestly. and they get goals from everywhere. So it's beautiful football. It's team football. It's very unselfish, and I think it's football that you can't play with someone like Ronaldo or some big name. You need people who are willing to give in and play as a team and sacrifice their individual success for the better of the team. And Gasperini did that. And you know what? There's no reason why they can't be the anti-Juve. I think they're equally, if not better, than Inter. And you don't know, like last year they started off a little slow, and that's kind of what hurt them.
Yeah, once they picked off, like
once
once
they
like
picked up, they
November.
got close.
Yeah.
Yeah. But this year they're starting off better, and yeah, they got to watch out the bigger teams. So yeah, shout out to Atalanta, Torino. You can't really blame them, to be honest. It's Atalanta. Like they didn't play a bad game, but you're playing Atalanta. It's very hard to look good against them. So credit to Atalanta. They did well. Moving on now, Lazio, Cagliari. Danny, what do you think about that match?
Yeah, so Lazio came away with a 2-0 win. I didn't watch a lot of the match. I was actually busy during this time, but Immobile he got the second goal, and then Lazari opened up the scoring in the 4th minute. It was a really nice goal by Immobile. Surprisingly, guys, it wasn't a penalty, so right there, he's off to a good start, continuing his form that he left off last season. With Cagliari, it's just, I think the addition of Godin is going to be huge for them. The defense looks a little like out of place at times, and I think with a veteran like Godin, who's at one point was one of the best center backs maybe in the world, and he's just a good player to have. They have a good team already with Cranio and net, so I think Godin would be a perfect addition to that side. They really need someone like that to help the back line. The midfield, I think, against the Lazio, they weren't the best, but I think as the year's going to go on, I think that midfield is going to be really good, with Marco Rog, Nandez, and also, Merin, who had a decent game, not the best, but not the worst. Their attack is pretty good with João Pedro and Simeone, who both could score, both could provide, good opportunities for each other. But at the end of the day, Lazio showed the quality of their side, and they were just a better team on the night.
Yeah, like Danny said, Lazio were the better team on the night. Cagliari didn't play bad, but they didn't play good enough to win. I think they're missing key parts like Diego Godin in the defense and Raja Nangolan in the midfield. We even saw it last season when Nangolan was on the field for Cagliari. They were just a different team. And when Nangolan was out or he was injured or he was suspended, Cagliari they looked atrocious. And I think that's what happened against Lazio. Lazio played well, but I think Cagliari had chances to score. I can't remember who the player was, but I know a Cagliari player had an open net. He shot the ball, but he skied the ball. I don't know where he was aiming to, but at that time it could have been 1-1. So if Cagliari just learned how to finish and they were just unlucky at the night against Lazio. But Lazio did play well. They got the win. Lazzari in the 4th minute. That's when I was like, wow. Is this going to be like a thrashing, a 4 or 5-0 thrashing? But then they kind of calmed down a bit. Cagliari kind of controlled the game for most of the game, and then Immobile just put the dagger at the 74th minute, like Danny said, wasn't a penalty, so everyone was shocked. And but that's about it. It was a good win for Lazio, a great way to start off the campaign for them. And Cagliari, they have to look to claw back and hopefully get the win next time.
Yeah, I was going to jump into this, but I think you guys really covered everything. Everything I was going to say, especially Francesco there with the penalty. Yeah, you guys covered everything, so I guess we'll move on here to Sampdoria-Benevento. Benevento beat Sampdoria 3-2.
Yeah, what a game that was.
Yeah, that was unexpected and crazy. Like, oh my God. When Letizia scored at the 88th minute, oh my God, when he scored, I couldn't believe it. That was incredible. Caldirola played well. He also scored. Yeah, he did score.
He got both goals.
Sure,
got both goals.
Yeah, he
got both goals.
Yeah,
and
he scored both of them. What am I saying? Yeah.
Got both goals, and then Letizia got that absolute, I'm going to call it a screamer. Like, it was just unexpected. I knew he had that attacking ability, because of a few games I watched in the Serie B. And I knew he had a good attacking ability, but I didn't know he had the quality to pull that shot off. And yeah, it's a huge win for Benevento. Get that first game out of the way. Oh no, this their first game? This game? Yeah.
Yeah. It was the first
this was their first game, and down 2-0 early, I thought this game was over. I thought Sampdoria were going to use their experience in the Serie A and then the side's going to just shut down. But Benevento, I give them credit. They battled back and they got the 3 points at the end of the day. Simone Inzaghi's reaction on the last goal was just incredible to see. It meant so much for him. And congratulations on getting the first 3 points after, I think, a 2-year spell from Serie A.
Yeah, they were incredible. Honestly, Benevento, their fight, because the last time they were in the Serie A, they didn't have that hunger, that will, and when they were down, the game was over. Yeah, the players as well, but even just the fight in their team, like when they were down, the game was over. They would never come back, unless that Milan game. We all know what happened. That was when the goalie scored. That was his name Brignoli or something.
Brignoli. I don't know if he's still the goalie from Benevento or he's somewhere now.
I'm not sure, but that was for sure. He's gonna remember that forever. That was crazy, but yeah, their team did not have that kind of fight in them, and this team seems different. Obviously, they're not going to be obviously top of the table favorite, whatever, even mid-table. But I feel like I did underrate them. Maybe they can avoid relegation because I feel like they have more fight than some other teams we saw, even more than Samp, because Samp looks terrible. Honestly, on paper they're the better team, obviously, but on the pitch they don't have any fight in them. They look like they're just there to get a paycheck, and like, I don't know, even the players they have around them, like Coley, he's about to leave. He's a player I actually really like.
I think he might go to Fulham or Leeds, a team in the Premier League.
I think it was Fulham. Coley's a player I like, and he might leave. Quagliarella is obviously, he's like a fine wine. Well, not anymore. Now he's declining, obviously, but you can't depend on he's 39 now, 38?
37, 38.
37, yeah. Anyways, he's older. You can't depend on Quagliarella to do what he did 2 seasons ago. Like, that's not going to happen. So, yeah, Sampdoria, they don't have the fight, and Benevento, they deserve the win. They fought till the end, and they got what they deserve. So, congrats to them. I'm happy, and like you said, seeing Inzaghi at the end of the game was really cool to see, and Letizia shout out for that goal, like, once again.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just want to jump in here quickly. I think we all remember when Benevento was in the Serie A last. I think it was until January where they got their first point. Not even their first one, their first point in Serie A. It was a long-awaited point, and now their first game back in Serie A is a massive win, 3-2 over Sampdoria. A very entertaining game. And I think it goes to show you the way Benevento are going. Obviously, I said they're going to get relegated. I still think that, but I think under Pippo Inzaghi, I think they have that fight, like Enzo was saying. They have that. Pippo Inzaghi has the experience as a player. He knows he's been in situations where he needs to win a game, and he's won the biggest trophies of them all. So I think having that on your side is a huge boost for Benevento, and I think they're going to use that to their advantage. Obviously, with the players coming in, and they have a great team now. They have that mentality, like you were saying, Enzo. So I think I'm going to be watching Benevento. Obviously, we're going to get into the game later. They have the best game against Inter, but they're playing better than they did last time they were in Serie A. So good job for them. And Sampdoria, something's wrong with that team. I don't know. They're dreadful.
Yeah, definitely. I think we saw that last season too. They were heavily declining, so
yeah,
it didn't come too much of a surprise. Moving on now to, in my opinion, well, I think everyone's going to agree with this, the game of the weekend, Inter-Fiorentina. Wow. Wow. Incredible. Just game, you never knew it was going to happen.
It had everything.
Everything except for defense.
and the red card. No red card, but it was just, wow.
Yeah, I'll just get started here quickly. Kwame, I know I criticized him a lot last podcast. I'm sticking with what I said. He's not a great finisher at all. He's good at getting to the goal, but putting the ball in the actual net. Needs to work on that. But he scored. Bonaventura, the assist. Castrovilli, another goal. I love Castrovilli. He's amazing.
He's impressive, that kid.
Yeah, he's impressive. Chiesa continued his great form. He played really well. And Ribéry, to me, he's probably the best player on the pitch, if I'm being honest. He was incredible.
He's like fine wine. Ribéry is like fine wine.
Yeah, definitely.
It seems like when the chips are down, he continues to fight and improve his quality.
And that pass he played too. Oh, Oh my God.
Like he
I can
was,
watch it all
yeah,
day. Yeah, he was incredible. What kind of hurt me that game was, everyone knows I'm a big Vlahovic fan, and that was
yeah,
probably the worst game of his career. We all know what happened last year against Inter. He got the game winner there, 90th minute banger, but this year it went differently. He's getting heavily criticized, which is really bothering me. He missed a chance, but it happens, whatever. But that's something that really bothered me. But he'll bounce back from it. And Inter, yeah, going to Inter, Lukaku will be Lukaku. He's a great striker.
hmm
Lautaro scored a really nice goal, a really really nice goal. It was phenomenal. And yeah, it's hard to say who. To me, I think Fiorentina was the better team. If you're asking me, they
yeah.
just couldn't finish. Vlahovic could have easily put the game to bed. But Inter, if they want to win the Scudetto, they need to win games like this, and they need to grind it out, and they did it. So congrats to them.
Yeah, no, I agree. I don't think I have anything to say for this match. You covered it perfectly. Just the one thing that kind of like surprised me too was Inter scoring 2 goals in 2 minutes. Like it was just wow. Like they played really good. Fiorentina, in my opinion, I think they were the better side as well. I just think Inter were more crucial when it came to the final third, and just that last 2 minutes between the 87th and the 90th minute, it was all Inter, and they just Fiorentina just fell asleep, and that was the difference between the two teams. But overall, quite an entertaining match. I think we can all agree that was probably the match of the week.
Yeah.
If there was a way that like a channel would show like the match of the week just to show the encore of it, I think this match would be it. And it was just, it's one of the best. I think this match reminded me of last year when Napoli played Fiorentina, the opening game, how back and forth the game was and how both teams were just wow. Like their attacking lead was just wow. So yeah, overall, Inter, they got the 3 points, and Fiorentina, they continue to impress me just the way they've been playing.
Yeah, like Danny and Enzo said, I think Fiorentina were the better team. I think Inter's quality just prevailed in the end. I mean, I feel bad for Fiorentina. They fought the entire game for this win. It was a true back and forth game. I think Fiorentina deserved the win. Obviously, I'm a Juve fan. I want to say that. But then Conte just came out, Sensi, Hakimi, Vidal, Nangolan, and Sanchez off the bench. I mean, if you're Fiorentina, you're probably looking like, oh fuck, I can't. What do you want us to do? We're facing a fresh Sanchez, a fresh Nangolan, fresh Vidal. Like there's only so much Fiorentina could do. They don't have the quality and depth like Inter do. So I think that at the end of the day, that's the reason Inter won. Those 5 subs when Conte made them. I think that was like, okay, Inter's gonna win this game now. And those 2 late goals were just. It must have been heartbreaking for the Fiorentina fans, but for the Inter fans, probably was a great moment. And like Enzo said, Inter need to win these games if they want to be contenders for the Scudetto. But it goes to show you Fiorentina aren't a team to look past this season, and they're really going to challenge for it. They're going for it all. So I'm looking forward to what Fiorentina do this season, and hopefully Inter drop points eventually because I want Juve to win the Scudetto, obviously. But it was a good win for Inter, and it was a great game just to watch as a neutral.
Yeah, well said. I think we all can agree that match was fantastic. Danny, I'm gonna throw it to you. Actually, you can cover this whole match if you'd like. Napoli-Genoa, six
Yeah.
nothing. So
Uh,
much to say about it. Go ahead.
yeah, so the first half, I didn't really like the way we were playing in the first half at all. Besides that, there was a point in the match. It was the first 10 minutes, when we got the goal, uh, we looked dominant, and then after that, it just, at one point we were outplayed by Genoa, and I don't know what Gattuso said to, the team at the half. Uh, I guess he's a great motivator. I don't care what anyone says. When you're winning 1-0 and there was a slight play that you were getting outplayed by a team like Genoa, and then you come out in the second half and get goals like that, like nothing. Uh, I gotta say, Zelinski had a pretty strong match for me. I really like the way even Elmas was playing off the bench, coming in for Insigne early on, and he played really well. I even said that this kid could potentially take the next step this year. He impressed me a lot. Lozano continues to score and impressed me as well. And Mertens too. That guy found a way to have, I think, one of the best matches he's had in a little while. He was really good, especially in that 10 position. And for me, I just think this team, when they can attack, they're just such a deadly team to look out for. They remind me a little bit of the Napoli side. I think it was the 17-18 season or the 16-17 season when we had like 97 goals or something like that. They would just get goals for fun, kind of like Atalanta. And even Osimhen too, he had a few chances that I think he should have scored, but he didn't let that affect him. He played well, showed his speed a few times. Beautiful link-up play, for the, Zielinski goal when he flicked it back to Zielinski, which was a wonderful play from him. Genoa, I know they were missing a few players, due to, COVID. And after the game, it came out that, I think they were feeling sick. A few players had symptoms, and now it seems like they have, I think 12 cases of COVID. They need something. Like, I don't know what's wrong with them. I don't know if it's a mix between just the players are not as good as they think they are. They could be a team this year that I wouldn't be surprised if they get relegated. But I also wouldn't be surprised if they stay up. So Genoa, there's a lot to improve from this match. And just Napoli too, like, as well. Defensively, there's a few times that we slipped up, that we were lucky that Genoa didn't finish. There was one point where I can't remember who it was. He had a wonderful chance in front of Maret, but he ended up scuffing the shot and Koulibaly cleared it away. I just think Napoli, when they can attack, and especially if we play the 4-2-3-1, we can score no problem. It's just the only problem is our midfield play. Sometimes we'll get too, lackadaisical in the mid, especially guys like Fabian Ruiz. He'll make a stupid pass, or he'll hold the ball too long and he'll lose it. So that's one thing I think we should fix, or even just say if we switch to a 4-3-3, and if we need to come back to the 4-2-3-1. But I think the 4-2-3-1 should be the formation we run. We scored 6 goals. I think it's 8 goals now when we started playing the 4-2-3-1. And I think that should be the formation we should run against Juventus as well. It's going to be an interesting match, that one. And I'm excited for it. And especially if Napoli can attack like this, Juve's defense is going to have their hands full with Napoli players.
Yeah, well said. You covered the whole match. I guess we can move on to Milan-Crotone. Milan, they've been really good this year. They really have impressed me. I didn't expect them to come out like this. Pioli, I think Francesco and Danny, you might have been critical of him as well. Pioli, we don't really trust him too much, but he's proving us wrong so far. Milan's been great. And someone that has really impressed me is Kessié. Kessié has been fantastic this year. And even towards the end of last year, I think he's underrated, and I think he might be top 15 midfielders in the league right now. He's been great. He's physical, and obviously penalty taking. He scored a penalty against Crotone, and he's always been good from the penalty spot. So yeah, Milan played well. Brahim Diaz I think I texted in the group chat we have. Brahim Diaz is fantastic. What a signing.
Yeah, you did.
I've never seen him play before, but I don't know how he was before, but at Milan, he's great. Wow. He's so technical. He can score. He can make plays. He has a good engine. He's a great player. So Brahim Diaz played really well. Milan as a whole played really well. And Calabria has really impressed me. And he's exciting me as well, because I'm hoping for the national team he can be put to use, him and Di Lorenzo. We can have a good fullbacks. But yeah, Calabria played really well. Tonali...
He played okay. He played his game. Like, nothing like outstanding, like, oh, this guy made this pass, but he played a solid game against like a team, Crotone, who, in my opinion, they were much better today than they than they were against Genoa.
Yeah, Tonali was whatever. Did his role, whatever. Nothing to really talk about. Çalhanoğlu has been fantastic since the restart from last season. He's been great since then. Salesmaker, I really like him, to be honest. I think he's a good player. I don't think he's great. I don't think he's bad, but I think he's a very good player, and I think he can really grow at Milan. So I think Milanisti should be really excited with him. And overall, Milan played really well. Crotone, it's obviously going to be a tough game for them against a squad like Milan, who's on fire right now. And that's all I really have to say about that match. So congrats to Milan. And yeah, guys, what did you think about that one?
Yeah, no, I agree. I was on and off with this one, cause I was also watching the Napoli game, deeply. So, cause they had to switch the times because of, Genoa's COVID. So they changed it to the 12 o'clock game. But when I watched it, at a buddy's house, it was, Milan looked okay. They looked good. But also I was really impressed the way Crotone even played too. I know they lost 2-0. There was nothing special about them, but seeing them adjust from the first game to this game, they played not like they improved. I think they could be a team that smaller teams have to look out for, like a team like Udinese, team like Benevento, Spezia, uh, those teams. It was just like a good match from Crotone, and also really strong game from Milan. Kessie was on fire that game. Brahim Diaz, hopefully he could become the player that he was supposed to be. I know like a lot of City fans, they really liked him in the academy, but then once he moved to Madrid, he really didn't do much. He was sitting on the bench, I think, most of the time. He never went out on loan. And I think this could help him. This could be a big move for his career. Like Enzo said, he's a good player, good technical player, and he's young too. So he fits into this Milan side who are mixed between a lot of youth and a lot of veterans as well. And I think this move can help him boost his career.
Yeah, like Enzo and Danny said, this was a big win for Milan. A game where a couple of years ago you would think, oh, Milan's going to lose this game, or what's Milan going to do against this game? But under this new era of Milan, they seem to really be getting into form lately and returning back to the old Milan. So you would think, okay, this is an easy win for Milan. Even though Zlatan is out due to COVID, Milan still have a good enough team to beat a team like Crotone. And I think they did enough to win this game. I think they could have played a little better, if you're asking me, but I think they did just enough to win this game without Zlatan, and I think they're going to be doing good this
Yeah,
season, Crotone.
Rebic, I think,
Um,
left the game too with an injury in the first half. I
yeah,
think it's first or second
yeah,
half. He left early.
yeah. So now we're going to have to see how Milan is going to deal with these injuries and COVIDs, and how Pioli's going to line up the team. But so far, I think Milan are doing good. I think Diaz is a great signing for Milan. I think, like Enzo said, Kessié, he's a phenomenal midfielder. I completely forgot he played for Atalanta. Every time I see Kessié, I'm like, oh wait, he played on Atalanta. I totally forgot. But he's finally returning back to that Atalanta form, if you ask me. I think obviously he had a rough season with Milan earlier on. But I think now, I think this season and especially last season too, I think he's finally returning back to the Atalanta form. And for all the Milan fans, it'll be, I think it's smooth sailing from here, and I think it's going to be a great season for Milan fans to celebrate.
Yeah, moving on from that match, we also had Verona-Udinese. There isn't really too much to talk about this one. It was an interesting game. I think Udinese had a lot of good chances, but they weren't able to finish. Favili scored, Verona 1-0. It was a good game. Favili seems really comfortable at Verona. He got subbed on. The academy went down and they brought in Favili. He played really well. I know Francesco is a big fan of Favili. I'm not sure why, but
Yeah,
it's very random, but he likes
I
him.
think didn't Favili play for Juve or he's
Yeah, he
on
did.
yeah,
loan from Juve?
I remember him playing well against Bayern, I think it was, in the ICC. I could be wrong.
yeah. That's why I
Was it
was a fan
Bayern?
of him.
Yeah, he played really well
Just
against
showed
them.
he just showed strength,
Yeah,
showed composure. He really showed promise, and then Juve got rid of him, and I was really sad to see that.
he was
And I'm
good. He
glad
was good for
doing good.
the Italy under 20 as well. Him and Orsolini too at Ascoli. They were like a good pairing, but they were younger. But you could tell
Yeah,
those guys were like the standouts from the team on the team.
Yeah, I remember watching him in the ICC, and he looked really good. I remember I used to call him a chubbier Sheik because their face kind of looked similar. But yeah, he played really well. For me, man of the match, Faroni got an assist as well. Everyone knows how much I love him. He's a great player.
yeah,
He was going up and down the whole pitch. Good game from Juric's Verona and Udinese. Like we all said, I think all three of us said they're probably going to get relegated. So it looks like that may be happening. So,
Yeah, I feel
anyone else
bad for
want to touch
DePaul.
on it? Yeah, the Paul
Uh,
guy.
I just, you know what, there's not much we could say because you covered it perfectly. I just want to say Udinese right now, just cash in on DePaul. I feel like this guy, I don't want to say you could kind of say he's wasting his time at Udinese. He's doing so much for them, but it seems like they're just getting worse and worse from here. But it's early on in the season, but I think Udinese before the transfer window, just sell DePaul, get the money for him, and then buy players just that can help your squad. Buy multiple players that can help your squad. Let DePaul go to the Premier League because that's where you can get the most money from, and just help build your squad. If you keep them, then I don't think the season's gonna get any better for them.
Yeah, agreed. Francesco, anything you want to say about this game?
No, I think you guys covered it well. I just, I really hope he really blossoms this season. A player Enzo knows I really love him ever since that ICC. I've watched him in person. I think he's a great guy. I think he deserves a good chance, and I hope by Verona he could get that and really blossom for them.
Yeah, hopefully. Hopefully Fairley as well, because we kind of need a striker. We don't really have a clear number one right now. Moving on now, Spezia and Sassuolo. Sassuolo won 4-1. It was a very good game. I think Djuric played really well. He scored as well. And Spezia, to be honest, they don't even look that bad to me. It might sound crazy. They don't seem like that bad of a team. And this guy, Galabinov, he has 3 goals in 2 games.
The top goal scorer from last season. It was when I was making it was, what other was it? It was the players to look out for from the 3 teams coming up. I was debating him or the midfielder Majority because he's a young midfielder that no one talked about, but in my opinion, he impressed me a lot. But Glavanov, he can score. This guy can score, and he could be like someone like a Caputo or something for Empoli. Like the team could get relegated, but he'll have like maybe 10 to 15 goals this season. So far he's been in form. The first few games he's been scoring.
Yeah, he kind of reminds me of, I don't know if this is an insult or not, but I don't mean it to be. He kind of reminds me of Lapadula when he was playing really well.
Yeah.
At Pescara. I believe it's Pescara, I'm pretty sure. I could be
Yeah,
wrong.
it was Pescara, and then he moved to after that.
Just the way he plays. Like, I'm not saying it's gonna end up like Lapadula. I'm saying the way he played when Lapadula was in his prime at Pescara really reminds me of him. See if he can keep it up. It's gonna be hard for them to stay up, obviously, but I think if they do, he can be a big reason for that happening. Sassuolo getting to them. Oh wow, Sassuolo is a team I rate heavily. Honestly, I really like Sassuolo. I've always have. They've always been a tough team to beat for the bigger teams coming off a Champions League game or Europa League or any game in general. Honestly, they're always a tough team. Berardi, I think, is super underrated. He's a good player. His finishing abilities sometimes isn't there, but his creation on the ball is fantastic. Deferel scored, which kind of made me laugh because him and Roma weird past, but yeah, it was a good game. I think Sassuolo clearly deserved it. They finished their chances, they created more, and they got the win. So congrats to them. What did you guys think?
Yeah, I just think Sassuolo too. They're a team that if they could get a little bit of defensive help, I think they could be a team that can contend for Europe. Right now I know they can contend for Europe even right now, but I think maybe if they can get like a good defender, kind of like a Goldin-ish, but like a Goldin-ish type of player, I think they can make it even like top 6, top 7. Like they got the attacking talent with Berardi, Boga, who's not even there yet. I think he's still recovering from, COVID. And also guys like Traore, Caputo, like those guys too, they're good players. And my opinion, I think you guys can agree with me on this one. I think Locatelli's easily maybe a top 15, top 10 midfielder in the league. He's just so underrated. He does a lot of the ball winning. He's strong on the ball. He's a good passer. He makes smart decisions. And I'm really impressed with him. And I think, guys like even like Obiang too, he's a good addition. He was a good addition for that, for Sassuolo. He's a good player, good holding midfielder, in the Serie A. And they just have a lot of good players. I just think as well. Maybe upgrading the goalie position because I'm not too keen on Concealy as of late. And just defensively, I think if they can get like a good center back or even just a good center back, maybe replace Marlon, who's a good player for them. I think they can contend top six, maybe. Like they're just such a fun side to watch, and I really like their coach. Their coach is a good coach. De Zerbi, I think he was a former Napoli player at one point, so I really like De Zerbi as well. I think Sassuolo could be a team to look out for.
Yeah, well said. I think with you and Enzo saying, I think Sassuolo deserve this win. But Spezia, if you take away that scoreline, they played really well, especially for a team that hasn't been in Serie A for a long while. I think Sassuolo are a cheaper version of Atalanta. No disrespect to Sassuolo, but I think Atalanta is that team that could contend for the Scudetto. And I think Sassuolo plays very similar to the way Atalanta play, but they don't have the players and they don't have the quality just yet to contend for that Scudetto, but they definitely have the quality to contend for a Europa League spot. And I think they're going to be very good this season. They're playing very well. Berardi is really impressing me. I know I've bashed him in the past when he was linked with Juve. I didn't think it was Juventus quality, but he's playing very good. Same with Locatelli. The guy's incredible. And I think Sassuolo are playing very good team football, similar to Atalanta. Caputo, obviously a bit unlucky, could have had a hat trick. He had 2 goals disallowed, I'm pretty sure. So a bit unlucky for Caputo, but once he starts scoring, he's going to be incredible. Same with the rest of the team, but I think this was a great one for Sassuolo just to show the rest of the Serie A, say, hey, we're here, we're going all in for the prize for the games, and I think this was a great statement win for Sassuolo and the team.
Yeah, well said. Now moving on, I'm sure me and Francesco will have quite a bit to talk about this one. Roma-Juve.
Yep.
I'll start off here quickly. Francesco, I know you're a Juve fan. I'm sure you can agree. I think Roma was a much better team on the day.
Yeah.
I think Fonseca got it perfectly. Everything, the formation. I think he knew that having Chiellini and Bonucci in there would struggle against the players technical like Mkhitaryan and Pedro, who just go in and out, in and out. Spinazzola just committed crime on that wing. He was murdering Juve on that wing, honestly. Yeah. He was fantastic. He's been great for us. Santon, he worried me when Fonseca announced the lineup at the press conference, but he played well as well. Pellegrini, someone who I've been very critical of the past year and a half, and he played well like for what I've seen from him anyways. I think he can do better, of course, but that wasn't really his natural position, and he played well. So I was happy to see that. Veretout, I don't care. To me, he's the best midfielder in this league. I'm gonna keep saying it until my face turns blue. He does it all. He reminds me of Nangolan, very similar. They're very defensive players. They run up and down. They're box-to-box midfielders, but they can also score. He's a great penalty taker. Chesney got close on that one, but he still put it away. Veretout, his engine is incredible. I don't know how this kid doesn't get tired. I don't know why I'm calling him a kid. He's older than me, but yeah, he's fantastic. Yeah. Well, no, please don't compare.
But he could actually score.
Yeah.
No, I'm saying the work rate, like he doesn't get tired. It's he could actually score, and he's more technical on the ball.
Yeah, the work rate, yeah, for sure. And I left the best for last year. This defensive line, Kumbula, Ibanez, and Mancini, they make me so excited. Like when I saw a team sheet, I couldn't wait to finally see them play together. And after seeing them, obviously young kids are going to make mistakes, right? I think their average age is like 23, maybe 22. It's very young. Mancini's 24, Ibanez 21, Kumbula 20. They played fantastic. The defending players like Douglas Costa who came in, and he's not the best of players, but when he comes off the bench, he's very dangerous, Douglas Costa. So Kumbula had him wrapped up. Ibanez to me was the best player, but after Veretout, Ibanez was fantastic. Mancini as well, his aggression, his leadership, he's a young leader and I'm loving it. This defensive line, they get me so excited. I think once we complete the deal for Smalling, we'll be set. We have a veteran presence, we have height, and that goal Ronaldo scored, I think, with Smalling, that never happens. Smalling, I don't think he lost an aerial duel last year. I can't remember him losing one, so yeah, Smalling's a big loss today, but Sunday. I was happy with everyone. Pedro, Mkhitaryan, they played well. Pedro struggled a little bit, but he played well. Jacko is the big issue I had with that game. I think he played well at post from finishing, which should be his job. He's a striker. I don't know. He signed for Juve. I thought we still had him. I guess signed for Juve after missing those 2 chances. So it looked like he was playing for them at times. But I was happy with the team how they played. That's all I really got to say. What do you think about that game?
Yeah, just like Enzo said, Roma was the much better team. Juventus are lucky to come away with the draw. Any fan that says we deserve to win was delusional, didn't watch the game. Where do I start here? I think, Pirlo, I said it from the start of the season, just because of his name, I'm not gonna give him a freebie this season. If he messes up, he messes up. And he messed up bad this game from the starting lineup. I think Farabotta should have started. I think, Kulusevski should have never started on the right mid. I think people are thinking it's a FIFA game over here just because he's right mid on FIFA. They think he can play right mid. Kulusevski is good, close to goal, almost that striker role beside Ronaldo, or on the right wing where he doesn't have to, where he's not responsible for running back and forth from the defensive end and offensive end. He's just not that player, and I don't know why Pirlo thought he was going to be that player because he was dreadful. I think Enzo could agree he's one of the worst players on the pitch for Juventus. I think his position is on the striker, Morata. It's a Cristiano Ronaldo show once again. Morata had a great chance to score, and instead of scoring, he probably heard Cristiano saying, "Pass the ball to me, I want to be the hero," and he passed the ball and Ronaldo missed. I think it was very stupid on his part, and I think he can't be scared of Ronaldo. I think the whole team, if once it gets to that point of the team playing against Ronaldo, I think Pirlo has to bench Ronaldo for a game and say, "Listen, the team needs to play for the win, not for your stats and your accolades and your individual performances." So I think Pirlo needs to get a good balance on that because it seems we're playing to Ronaldo every ball, every chance, and Roma aren't stupid. They really did well defensively to lock up Ronaldo and lock up the chances Juventus did have, which were very, very few because of the great defensive line. Another mistake Pirlo made was Rabiot. He was on a yellow card because of that handball, obviously. And instead of taking him off, he took someone else off. I think that was a huge risk that he took, and it didn't pay off. He got sent off. But he did adapt well. I give him credit for that. He did adapt well. He brought on Bentancur after, changed the formation around, and really adapted well. It seemed we played better with 10 men. So interesting to see that. But hopefully we could bounce back against Napoli. It's not going to be easy. It's going to be very hard. I think it's going to be the hardest game of the season so far. And we're very lucky to play to get that draw. Obviously, everyone's saying it's the Ronaldo show, but I don't care. The guy was dreadful the entire game just because he got 2 goals. He missed a lot of chances. He had a lot of passes he could have made. Instead, he took stupid shots. The free kick, I'll never understand why he's still taking free kicks, but it is what it is, and we got to move on. Danilo, I think he's our best defender so far. I'm glad Igor Tudor is working well with him, and hopefully he proves me wrong. As everyone knows, I'm not a big fan of Danilo, but I think next week, I think a lot of players have to sit out this game, and I think we gotta go in with a fresh plan and a fresh idea on the drawing board. But anyway, credit to Roma, they were the much better team, and than Dzeko for missing those chances. I think that was your president saying, "Sorry, Juventini, I didn't get to join your club, but you know what? Here's a little present, for a token of appreciation for welcoming me in your club."
Yeah, he seems to give a lot of tokens to a lot of teams, this guy, but
he's a giving guy, Enzo.
Yeah, maybe he should start a coin factory or something. I don't know what he should do. Just make coins all day because it gives people tokens every game, a freebie.
Call him Santa Claus. Call him Santa Claus because he gives gifts to every club.
Yeah, honestly, gives more gifts to clubs than I've got in my childhood from Santa. So, yeah, moving on to Monday's match, we had Bologna-Parma. This was the Bologna show. Bologna, they were fantastic. Soriano stole the show, 2 goals, 1 assist. A player that he scored, but I still think he's going to go under the radar here is Skov Olsen. I think he played a fantastic match. I really like the kid. He's one to watch out for sure. And yeah, I don't really have much to say about this match, honestly.
Yeah, Soriano played good.
Yeah.
Played really good, actually, Soriano. Even Palacios too. Like, I was a little surprised how good he played too. Despite being, I think he's 38 now. But he played okay. He had an okay match. And one kid I would like to shout out. for playing. He played pretty strong. I really liked the way he played. Aaron Hickey, the left back of Bologna, it
Yeah,
was his
him.
first game. It
He
was his
played well.
first game in the Serie A, first game I think for Bologna too. And this kid, he's got a little bit of potential attacking wise. There's a few times on the defensive end he was out of place. And there's a lot of times he asks for the ball like he's like a midfielder or something. He always asks for the ball. But I think under Milinovic, I think he could be a good player. Definitely one to look out for. Only 18 years of age, and he played pretty good for his first game in the Serie A. I was really impressed with him. Again, like I said on the last podcast, I just think Parma they need help any aspect given. I don't think Cornelius played this game. I think he missed the game with an injury or something, and you could tell they needed him. They just looked lost. And Gervinho, I don't care what anyone says, he's not the same player he once was, and I think he needs to go as well. Caramo, he's still 22, so he's got a lot of room to grow. But I just think Parma, they just need to do something. Like they need to make a few more signings. The way they've been playing, it seems like they're a relegation team. Like they might get relegated. But we'll see. It's only 2 games into the season. So who knows if Parma is going to improve or if they're just going to continue to struggle.
Yeah, I think this game I wasn't expecting at all. Obviously, Bologna-Parma on paper looks like a very even game. Based on last season, you would say maybe a Parma win. But I don't know what happened here. Parma, I don't know what's going on. Is maybe something in the back rooms are a little off. The manager or the board offices, the players, the morale. I have no idea what's going on. But Parma are dreadful this season. It's not even that they lost players. Like obviously Kulovetsky, that's a big loss. That's a big loss to lose. But the way the team's playing, it's like they're not motivated to play the game anymore. They're not. They really don't have the urge and the hunger to score goals and to do well. I don't know what's going on, but they need to change fast because at this rate, like Danny said, they're going to relegation. And I don't care if it's 2 games in. The way the players are looking on the field and the way they're playing, the way they're passing the ball, it looks like a men's league team, not even a city. Never mind a City A B team. It looks like a City A team. Teams like Spezia are playing better than Parma. I'm disappointed in them. Hopefully they wake up. I have a really soft spot for Parma, but I think they'll wake up. I think they need to change the scenery. Maybe change get some players out, bring some new players in before the deadline closes. But other than that, very good win by Bologna, and they're showing a lot of goals for this match day. A lot of goals. But
Yeah, I think they just
defensively,
need.
it's been bad.
I think Parma just need a replacement for Kulusevski, and I think Enzo can agree with this one. I think the sacking of De Versa was honestly one of the worst moves I've ever seen a
Yeah,
club make, like in recent
100%.
times. And I think they have new ownership, so hopefully the new owner realizes this quickly before it gets worse. They need to fix something. Like they gotta replace Kulusevski, and I think they need a new coach as well. I don't know why they sacked
Yeah,
De Versa. I have to look into that.
I agree. I don't know why either, but this new who's their coach again?
Loriano, I think his name was
This guy needs to
Li-
go. He's
the former
gone.
Lecce coach. I think it's
Leave it
Loriano.
on you. Leave it on.
Liviani, yeah,
He
former
is
Lecce coach.
I don't know why. I don't know what this guy is doing. I don't know what's wrong with this team, but it is horrible on Parma's part.
Yeah, it's terrible. But moving on. It's kind of awkward, but we're going from match day 2 to match day 1. But Benevento
We're going
Inter.
back in time.
They're going back
I,
in time here.
I
But
wish.
yeah, obviously the 3 games that weren't played for the first match they were played yesterday. Like I said before, recording this on Thursday. Benevento Inter. Wow, Inter they came out swinging. They scored 3 goals in 28 minutes. So 20 seconds in, actually, Hakimi got his first ever Inter assist.
No, second. I think it's the
Hakimi
second. I think it was second.
Hakimi's second assist for Inter.
Yeah, I think he had one on the Lukaku goal, I believe. The last
Or
game too.
last game. Well, yeah, it could be the first or second. But Hakimi, he stole the show. To me, Hakimi, like, I've heard a lot of good things about him. Like, it's like Europe, right?
Yeah.
You have friends who watch the leagues from, like, the Premier League or Bundesliga. You always hear, oh, this guy's good, that guy's good, but you never really know until you see them play. And Hakimi's one of them. I heard all this hype about him, and he more than lived up to it. This guy is amazing, and I think if Inter do win the Scudetto, he'll be a massive part in it. He'll play a huge part in it. He's a great player. Stole the show for me. He also scored. Yeah, Hakimi, great player. Can't say nothing else about him. So fantastic. Lukaku is Lukaku. Gagliardini impressed me.
Yeah, I think he was probably the best player on the pitch. Maybe him and Hakimi, you can argue that who was better, but Gagliardini, surprisingly, he had a good game. Surprisingly, usually he doesn't impress me. He pisses me off more than he impresses me. Like what? And I'm not even an Inter fan. I'm just saying that just like as a neutral. But Gagliardini, yeah, he had a good game. The whole Inter side, I think you could say, had a good game because of the 5 goals they scored.
Yeah,
definitely.
But the one thing I would like to just justify on Hakimi, and I think a lot of people who watched him as a Dortmund fan or just in the Bundesliga or just seen him play in general, he's a really attackingly second to none, probably one of the best attacking fullbacks you can say in the world, probably. But he lacks on the defense, and just one thing in Conte's system, I think if they're playing the 3-5-2, he's got to come back and defend, and I think that's where you lose Hakimi on defensively. He's not the strongest right back. He's more of you could say kind of like a right mid, right wing, if that makes sense. But as a right back and defending, he's not the greatest at all, and I consider him defending one of his weakness, and he's quote unquote right back. So
yeah, I think definitely that's the weak spot for sure is defending.
Yeah, we'll see what he does under Conte, because I know Conte I think if anyone can teach him how to defend, I think it's Antonio Conte.
Yeah, I think he can definitely improve on his defending. I think the formation actually fits him perfectly, because if there was 2 at the back, and then he'd have to stay back the full game, which Hakimi staying back the whole game, he's useless. But 3 at the back, at least he has someone that can cover for him. Defensively, obviously, has to improve, but I feel like at 3 in the back, he'll thrive. But yeah, Inter played well. Benevento, come on, they can't really do much. They're like they impressed me, but they scored. But and that's another thing. Inter's defense is terrible. Inter's defense is terrible. I'm gonna put it out there right now.
Handanovic. Did you see that mistake by Handanovic?
Yeah.
But even their defense in the first match, Kolarov is horrendous. Like I know he plays for Roma. I love Kolarov going forward, but defensively, this guy to back post, I feel like ripping my eyes out. I swear I get like chills down my back when I watch him defend. It's a nightmare for me. I don't know why they wanted him, but whatever, honestly.
Can I just ask a question? Like I don't know, maybe you guys know about this, or if any Inter fan watching this knows the reason why. Feel free to tell us, because I'm honestly confused about this. Why the hell isn't Bastoni playing? Am I the only one that thought he was really good last year, or do you guys agree with me? Why isn't he playing?
Beats me, should be.
I don't think he's injured. He's injured.
He was on the bench. He was on the bench, I think, both games. He didn't even see the field. And if it's the reason, because they want to play Kolarov at center back, there's no reason. Bastoni is a young future center back for the Italian national team and for Inter. I get he's got room to grow, whatever. But if you're not going to play him and you're going to play Kolarov at center back over him, just loan him out at that point. Just loan him out. And it just beats me why he isn't playing. Because in my opinion, he was easily maybe one of the best center backs in Italy, just Italian-wise, in Italy. So I think he's got to be playing more. And I think Kolarov should either play a left wing back where Ashley Young is playing, or don't play at all. I don't think he's a good center back at all. He looks horrible in that position.
Yeah, I don't know, it was really weird. Even against Fiorentina, he was one of the best on the field the first match. So, I don't know. I find it weird how he didn't play. He was fantastic against Fiorentina, so maybe he had a slight knock or something we don't know about. I'm not sure, but
I think he was on the bench for Fiorentina. I think he started on the bench.
Was he? I swear he started.
Let me double check this.
I swear he started. Yeah, I'm pretty sure he started that game, but he played really well that game. He's one of the best.
Yeah, he did. He did.
Yeah. He was
But I don't know.
amazing. So
Maybe because I don't know. Maybe because they're playing Benevento. I have no idea. But I think that kid should start every game. He's
yeah,
good. He's a good player.
he was one of the best on the pitch against Fiorentina. So that's really weird. Francia, any thoughts on the game?
I just think it was, obviously everyone knew Inter was going to win. Benevento surprised me. I didn't think they were going to get a goal, but when you have Handanovic, I don't know what this guy's doing. He's been lost. Ever since he's one of the best goalkeepers in Serie A, everyone's been saying he's the best goalkeeper in Serie A for the past couple of years. I don't see it. The guy, for me, he's a little overrated. But what can you do? He makes some good saves, but, his ball distribution is similar to Marc-Andre ter Stegen and Wojciech Szczesny. It's not the best, doesn't have the most IQ, and it costed Inter the goal. Obviously, that goal difference. People say, oh, as long as we won 5-2, who cares? One goal means nothing. But in the end, when Juventus and Inter are top two, and it's very tight, and Juventus win by goal difference, then you're going to be like, fuck, that Handanovic mistake costed us the Scudetto. So I think in the long run, Inter have to be very careful with who they concede to and how they concede goals. But it was a good win for them for now. But let's see in the future if it's going to cost them the Scudetto. You never know.
Yeah. Next, Udinese continued to be probably the worst team in the league. They lost to Spezia 2-0. Galabanov scored 2 goals. Got a doppietta. Played really well. Spezia deserved this win, in my opinion.
Yeah.
They played really great. Udinese had their chances, but nothing too threatening, honestly. Spezia deserved this win. And they even had 10 men, so Udinese, they're not even a team to me at this point. Like,
They're just
Roma
a
played
player.
this weekend. We better win, honestly.
They're
they're just showing up.
They're just a player. Like, it's literally just DePaul.
Yeah.
I know, like, a few Udinese fans are gonna get, like, pissed off, but it's true.
Yeah.
Like, DePaul is the only player that,
yeah.
DePaul is the only player that stands out for you now. And Spezia, I give them a lot of credit. Glabanov, he scored 2 goals, I think, right? 2 goals he got?
Yeah, he got doppietta, 2 goals, yeah.
Yeah, and he's a good finisher. He's a good finisher. And in my opinion too, like, I think Spezia, they got some decent players around them. Glabanov's a good player, and the guy I even said too to look out for, Malagiotti, he had a pretty solid game, and he could be a decent player for like a team like maybe like a Verona or something. If say Spezia get relegated, then they need to buy a midfielder. He's a guy that I say you guys gotta keep your eye out for him. He could be a good player in this league.
Yeah, well said. Francia, any thoughts on the game?
I just think Spezia, they played well. Obviously, they played well in matchday 1, but they were unlucky not to get the win. But in this game, you showed a team on quality of Spezia, I would almost say. I would say these teams are more evenly paired, quality-wise on paper, in retrospect. But I think Spezia showed, listen, give us an even playing ground and we're going to win. We're going to be the better team. Give us a team like Inter, Juve, you know what, we're going to try our best, but don't expect us to win. So I think this is a very important win for Spezia to avoid relegation. Like I said, I think they're going to stay up in Serie A this season. They've really been impressed so far in these past 2 matches. I'm looking forward to them. So Udinese, the team's another disaster. I think the relegation battle is going to be more interesting than the Scudetto battle. If I'm being honest, there's a lot of teams that have been shock contenders to get relegated so far. For Sampdoria, Udinese, Parma, you still have Benevento, the likes of Benevento. It's going to be a very interesting relegation battle. I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah, very interesting. I don't know if that's a good thing, but
yeah, I was just gonna say that. Like, I think Francesco's the only one that says, "Guys, I'm actually looking forward to like seeing teams get relegated."
Who's gonna get relegated? It's gonna be because it shows great aspects of the league. Obviously, you have the Premier League where once a team gets relegated, it's basically okay. You're gonna get relegated after a certain amount of time, and then the Premier League battle, whatever. In Serie A, you have the Scudetto battle now with Juventus, Inter, Atalanta, Napoli, all these great teams. And then you're gonna also have the relegation battle, just so all fans could enjoy. Listen, if you're a Spezia fan, you don't give a shit if Juventus or Inter win the Scudetto, but you're gonna be like, fuck man, Spezia, come on, stay in Serie A, come on man.
So no, but it's kind of like vice versa though. It's kind of like vice versa. It's like Benevento, they're in Campania, and I want them to stay up because I want to have that Campania derby every year. And it's also, I would like to see teams from the south in Serie A. But if they get relegated, I can't do nothing. I'm not gonna get pissed off if they're relegated. It's their
Yeah,
fault.
but
It's not like,
it's just enjoyable to see like how close the league is as the full table instead of just the top four is close, but the rest of the table's done. It's good to see like, okay, we have a relegation battle that's extremely close. Now we have a mid-table that's really close that anyone can qualify for Europe. And then on top of that, you have the Scudetto battle that's really close. You want the whole league to be very
yeah,
close for a
obviously,
neutral perspective.
you want the league to be entertaining. But I'm just saying, like in my opinion, that like for me, I don't look forward to a relegation battle. If whatever team gets relegated, they get relegated. But I get like your point and stuff, and I agree. Like everyone's different. It's just in my personal opinion. I just don't look forward to a relegation battle. Like I don't know, Enzo, do you look forward to see like what teams get relegated, or you just go with the flow?
If I'm being honest, I don't really care. But yeah,
Enzo, I don't
whatever.
know. You should care.
Yeah, I know we're at the bottom of the
Roma could be
table.
one of those teams. You never know, Enzo.
I know why you're talking. We slapped you up, but
You did.
well, whatever. But yeah, I don't know if we forget to hand in the match sheet with the lineups, then maybe. We'll see. I don't know if we've tied you yet. We'll find out in a couple of days. I still don't know.
Someone's gonna say, yeah, oh, they had Dzeko as under 22 or something.
Yeah, Dzeko's playing like he's under 85. I don't know about 22. I can't run anymore, but whatever. Yeah, we have one more match to cover right now. Lazio-Atalanta.
Just wow. I don't even know what to say for this match. It was just like, again, Papu Gomez getting 2 goals, impressing. Hateboer got a goal, and I can't remember who got the other one. Was it Gosens too? 2 fullbacks. You could say kind of like 2 fullbacks.
They're strikers basically. They always
score. And
incredible. Again,
I don't know if I don't know what's happening to Lazio's defense. Is just, they're making me laugh. They look like buffoons this game. Like they just, Papu Gomez. I think Papu Gomez is like, you can literally say it's like a FIFA term. He's the cheap Messi, and he was playing like Messi against Lazio. For me, if I'm a Lazio fan, I would be embarrassed by this result. And don't get me wrong, Atalanta are a good side. They're a quality side. They got attacking options, left, right, center. And anyone that plays for Atalanta could score. I give money Gasperini could score a goal if he played for Atalanta. And I think as a Lazio fan, like, you could just see the team like, oh, okay, we're playing Atalanta. This is a good opportunity to see what we have, what this team is made of. And then you lose 4-1, especially when it was at the Olimpico. Even though there's no fans, there's limited fans, it's just still bad to see because it's a big matchup and you're a team that's going to contend for Champions League, potentially contend for the Scudetto, and you're playing like this, and you lose against the teams who are also contending for the Scudetto and contending for Champions League. It doesn't look good on your resume, and I think if Lazio continue to play like this, especially against the big teams, they could be in trouble. They could probably finish like 7th or 8th, if I'm all honest. But Atalanta, again, they prove that the attacking football they have is just incredible, and they're just a fun side to watch. And I'm actually scared to play Atalanta, but also excited to see what they can do against other teams, except for Napoli, obviously, which I hope Napoli learn how to play against them and potentially could be the what's the word, like the kind of like just like the antidote, not like antidote, but just like
kryptonite.
Yeah, kind of like the kryptonite for Atalanta. Hopefully, I'm saying this October 1st. Hopefully when we play them, I think next week we play them after Juve, after the international break. We play them. So after that match, so hopefully that match, we're ready for them and we can play them hard and play them well. But Atalanta, they're going to be a scary side to look out for.
Yeah, I think Napoli-Atalanta might end 2020. Score.
Maybe end 2020 as well. Like maybe they're just like the game's just going to be like wow, like just
Can you
that match,
imagine?
that game could end like a football score, like 35-28 or something. Like who
If
knows?
that happens, I think they need to rip off Galini, Meret, all the defenders' contracts up, send them back to Serie B if that happens.
If that had the
I
league
might,
right there.
I might have to make a bigger post game edit. Need more room.
Make a video, make a post game video.
Yeah, I have to. But yeah, that's gonna be the same game. But yeah, on Lazio-Atalanta, every time Papu Gomez took a step forward, Lazio's back on did a chicken dance. Like they really didn't know what to do. So
It was like they were playing Messi. Like the way Papu played this game, he reminded me of like how Messi plays. I'm saying like they're similar players, but just the way Papu was controlling the game. It was.
Yeah, and even in the importance of their teams, like Messi, how important he is to Barca. Same with Papu Gomez.
I think they're the same age too. Same age and same like role. They're both captains.
Yeah, Papu, he's a Messi of Bergamo, I guess you can say, but
yeah,
he is, wow. To be honest, he's playing better than he ever has. It's kind of weird, right? Like,
I think he gets better. Like he's like wine. He gets better as the age goes. Like there's a lot of players in Serie A too. Like they're just better when better as their age goes on.
Yeah, it's crazy. And if you look at Papu from when he was playing at Catania compared to now, it's not even like close. Like, wow. It's like a different person, but yeah, he's matured greatly, and it's good to see him play well. Everyone loves Papu Gomez. You can't hate him on and off the pitch.
Too. Even his little dance he does too.
Yeah,
I love.
Baila como el Papu. What a song, what a dance. Yeah, Papu's a man. Papu's a man. Everyone loves Papu Gomez.
Yeah,
but yeah, that's wrapping up all the matches. Francesco is a Juve fan, obviously. Champions League draw came out. We want to talk about that a little bit. Lazio, Atalanta. Well, I guess we can go over the groups quickly, but Francesco, you can start off if you want.
Yeah. I think Enzo knows this. I was in a call with him during the Champions League draw, and I was saying I want Barcelona. I want people. I don't care about Ronaldo versus Messi. That I could care less about. I want to show people as Juventus that we're not scared of anyone. I said I want Barcelona. I want Atletico. I want Man City. I don't care who we get, as long as the pot 2 team is a good team. Because I want to show that Juventus is better against bigger teams than we are against smaller teams, and especially under the Pirlo era, I'm very excited to see how we do in Champions League and what we do. I think we're better than Barcelona. I think our group is literally perfect. We have Dynamo Kiev and a Hungarian team that I'm not going to try pronouncing. But I think those 2 teams should be easy wins. They should be, obviously never say never, but should be easy wins. So the fight is going to be between Juventus and Barcelona for top 1 and 2. And I'm very excited because I'm very confident we're going to top the group. Not perfect points, but I think we'll get a draw with Barcelona at the Camp Nou and then dismantle them at the Allianz. So I think I'm looking forward to that game. Obviously, everyone is with Ronaldo Messi. Could be the final time you see these 2 face off. All these great storylines, but I'm very excited for it. On top of Juventus' point, I feel bad for Atalanta. I think they got the hardest group for the Italian teams, but hopefully they show everyone the big dogs that they are and dethrone the champions of England.
Yeah, and I didn't want to interrupt you, but I'm watching the Milan game in the background, and Sailmaker scored. Sailmaker scored.
Wow. Let's go.
I was talking about him before, so yeah, I'm happy to see that.
I saw Maldini's on the starting lineup, so I'm really looking forward to that. Maldini in the starting lineup, you know.
Yeah, me as well. That's cool to see.
Yeah, no, the Champions League, I'm actually, even though Napoli are in Europa League, I'm excited to watch, Juve versus Barca, not because of Messi versus Ronaldo, which is main storyline, but
it's just 2 top teams.
And then just not even that, it's just, I want to see, because we have a buddy who's a Barca fan, and I just want to see, I just want to see, the pregame shit talking you guys do. Because when you guys go back and forth, it's honestly, it makes my day, and it's just the funniest stuff.
We've been going off for years, and we finally get to put the debate back to
and I even said yesterday, I don't know if you guys booked it
2017.
yesterday. I even said, I want Juve to get Barca just because, because Messi versus Ronaldo. I just want to see, you guys can end the debate. This will literally settle the debate you guys have and just end it. But also, Inter's got Madrid, which is going to be another interesting matchup to look out for.
That's going to be a really good match.
Lazio's got Dortmund, Zenit, and Club Brugge. I think if Lazio don't make it out of this Champions League group, I'm just going to...
Well, we've seen it before.
No, they haven't made Champions League.
Lazio struggled and didn't make that out of the Europa League. They didn't make it out of the Europa League group, so I don't have any expectations for Lazio to make it out of this group. If they can get out of the Europa League group, I think Zenit's going to make it through. I think they'll be Burma and Zenit.
Scary part is, I think Inter will make it out of their group. And call me crazy, guys. I think Atalanta can make it out of this group. With Ajax.
I think they can too. I think they will.
I think the only problem is, in my opinion, Liverpool. And I think they'll give Liverpool. No, I don't think they'll beat Liverpool, but I think they'll
beat them in Bergamo though. Like I think in Anfield they'll lose, but I think in Bergamo.
I think Liverpool is just a little too strong for Atalanta, but I think Atalanta could give Liverpool a run for their money, and I think they could beat Ajax. And I don't want to say this. I think they're a Denmark team. I think they can beat them as well. Yeah, and also like if Inter too, they got Shakhtar and Mönchengladbach, which
that's gonna be tough.
You know what though? I think the only team besides Real Madrid, I think Shakhtar can give Inter trouble. But I think like when I mean trouble, I think they'll put up a little fight for them with them. I think Inter played them in the Europa League, if I can recall, and they won 5-0, right? They played Shakhtar in Europa League.
So.
I'm not
100%.
I don't know if it was Shakhtar or another Ukrainian team, but the way Shakhtar, I don't know if they're the same team as they were when we played them, but they gave Napoli a little trouble too when we played them. But I don't know if they're as close as they were to the same team as they are now. But it's gonna be an interesting Champions League. I know me and Enzo were looking forward to just tomorrow's draw. Hopefully, as a Serie A fan, hopefully Milan can join us in the Europa League. But I'm looking forward to seeing who we have in our group tomorrow.
Who else is in Europa League? Is it just Napoli, Roma, Milan, or is there another team?
I think it's just Napoli, Milan, Roma.
Yeah, it is. It's just us. I'm excited. I can't wait to see our group. Honestly, I'm not too bothered by who we get. If you're going to win the Europa League, you should be able to beat every team in there. So
yeah, if you want to be the best, you have to beat the best.
There you go.
There's the saying.
Yeah, there you go. So I'm not too bothered by it, but obviously I'm excited to see who's in our group. Yeah, I think we covered everything. I'm excited for the Champions League, excited for this weekend's matches. And I know before we wrap up here, Francesco wants to make a quick little announcement, I guess. Go ahead.
Yeah. All right, guys. So this is a long project I've been working on behind the scenes. And if you haven't heard already, part of a new project, obviously not leaving Six Side Calcio anytime soon. But it's a separate side project I'm working on with Fernando from Lazio Close and Joseph from Calcio Fan Blogs. Started a podcast, kind of like we describe it as just getting together. Obviously, we have 3 big dogs coming in and just giving our opinions. It'll be a separate podcast. So if you want to see what I look like, you want to see some more opinions, we have a Lazio fan, obviously. So different views now. Check it out. It's called 3 Cultural Tiers. The prequel episode, it's a little outdated right now, but it just the prequel episode 1's going to be dropping soon. I think we're going to record it on Monday. So keep your eyes out for that. Follow the 3 Cultural Tiers and support us on Six Side Calcio. Support Joseph on Calcio Fan Blogs and support everyone.
Yeah, well said. Looking forward to that. Also, like you heard at the beginning of the podcast, we also have a new sponsor, myvintagejersey.com. So we're excited for that. If you guys do want the jerseys, go ahead, 5% off. So, yeah, looking forward to an amazing and long partnership with them. Good things are happening. We're excited for the future. And, yeah, guys, just going to wrap it up. Thank you for listening. If you want to follow us on social media, at Six Side Calcio, literally everywhere, Twitter, Facebook, Instagram. And we'll see you next week. At TikTok, I guess. We haven't posted in like 2 months. But
yeah, I think for us, I think we were bad on TikTok. Like, I'm joking aside, I think our TikTok got deleted. I'm not even sure anymore.
Who knows? But yeah, I guess if it's still around.
You guys can follow if you guys want.
Why not?
You just might have to like clean the dust off the account, but still there.
Yeah, we haven't used that in a while. But yeah, we enjoyed this episode. Looking forward to next week. And yeah, ciao ragazzi.
Ciao,
Sure.
guys.